Okay. I'm kind of on time, I think. Let's get started. Wait. I need to change this. Because it doesn't really need to see the cursor, I don't think. I have my shit together, I promise. That's a lie. See, we just one last time, so this one. Cannot believe I forgot to post about it. Actually, I can. I know me. I know me very well. Okay. Oh, I'm thirsty. Am I tangled up in cords again? I am. Okay, let's fix that. Man, I am a hot mess today. Okay. We're on track, I think. If there's a track. Ever since you were a kid back on Earth, you've always held a deep, close wish to one day travel the world. You wanted to see new places, experience exciting new tastes and altitudes and temperatures. Maybe go scuba diving. You never imagined you would actually get the chance. That kind of cool stuff didn't happen to someone like you. Well, you're finally getting your wish. It's just a totally different world. Hello! Welcome. Funny how life turns out. Uh, our lovely little beginning narrator is steadily getting more cynical, I think. When you get back to Earth, well, you don't want to think about that. Who knows if it will ever even happen? You have really chilled out recently. Found your place in the universe. Drifting from friend to friend, adventure to adventure. The only way to live. So tiny! You won't. Yeah, I think I would be concerned if they weren't getting more cynical by the volume. I just happened to notice that it's definitely happened. Oh, my shoulder popped. Okay, good. You've wandered into a part of town that seems to have some culture going on. There are a lot of bright neon lights, and you can't read what the signs say, but you can see arcades, a performance space, and what looks like a movie theater, perhaps more indie oriented compared to the mall cinemas you've seen before. Oh, I'm a Master says I'm more than slightly a touch on the unstable side, so weird things pop all the time. As you continue wandering, you come across a trendy looking building with a placard outside that shows a little cartoon doodle of a fancy waiter holding out a tray of snacks. You can't read what the words say, but you recognize the intergalactic signal for free food inside. Come on in. Is that what that is? I can't do that, but if I could, I would totally do that for fun all the time. we're getting artsy this time. You head inside, and it appears to be an art gallery. It must be opening night because there are festive decorations up and a little table offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres. We are real focused on the food this time, huh? But when was the last time we ate? There are many other art appreciators here, and your adrenaline spikes when you realize that most of the trolls milling around are purebloods. They're purple bloods. Wow. I cannot read today. Oh well. Yeah, food is always good, even if it's food that's questionable looking, because you're on a new planet. You're not sure if some paintings and snacks are worth the high chances of being maimed when chaotic violence breaks out, but you're debating the merits of free food versus probable injury. Oh, as you're debating the merits. Oh, wow. It's gonna be one of them days. Anyway, someone approaches you. Oh, hello. I love your design. You got the funky people like me. You have extra ease. Okay. You don't look like my other patrons. Are you lost? Or are you perhaps looking to start collecting? If you're loaded, ignore that first question. I like that logic. Art is for everyone after all, regardless of your blood color. The four black pupils in her eye glint and sparkle. And you're not sure yet if it's a menacing or a friendly sparkle. She grins at you and shows all her teeth. What do you think of the art? Have any paintings caught your eye? You look around. You don't know much about art, but you are a nerd, and a lot of the paintings in here remind you of scenes from popular movies and games back home. We are saving. I think I'm going to start with this one because I think it's going to take me down the bad path. The theme is violent! That's adorable. I'm going to go with, seems kind of derivative. You clearly know nothing about art. Please. Pleb. If you don't like it, there's the door. Make room for someone with money to burn and better taste. I got swept out. Yeah, it sounds about right. Wiggling my nose to scratch it, it makes me shake my head. That's great. Yeah, true. She did push us out with a broom, and that's the, like, least violent thing we've been evicted with. Including, like, damage to our heart. Alright, let's go with, the artwork is stunning, perhaps. The best I've ever seen. Troll Mona Lisa who? Yeah, the bar has gotten very low for what we consider good. Also, I like how it says Troll Mona Lisa who, and there is a Troll Mona Lisa right behind it. Stop! You flatterer. She puts her hand on her hip and winks at you. And you're guessing here that she doesn't actually want you to stop? You're also making the connection that she must be the artist who painted all of these. You sense an opportunity for friendship, so you lay it on thick and gush about how talented she is. Huh. I thought you looked like a dumbass when you walked in, but you have good taste after all. That's not a wrong assessment at this point. Let me show you around. How do you say her name? Is it Remily? Or Ramel? Yeah, first assessment was on point there. I guess my best guess would be to go with Remily. Is that... I don't know, that feels more right. Like that looks like a name that should not be pronounced like it exactly like it's written, if that makes sense. Alright. You follow Remily through the gallery, swinging by the table with the free food first. It's pretty good by the standards you've come to expect on Alternia, but what you thought was wine at first glance is actually Fago. So everything is, all the foods are like different and like totally different to what we know, except for Fago. We got Fago. No thanks. You may have noticed some themes in my exhibited work. I don't want clowns or gore as much as it may seem. That's just what I have for sale here. If you look at my works online, you'll see... It really is. If you look at my works online, you'll see a more... Wow, I cannot read that sentence. You'll see more of the full range of my art. But for this fancy gallery shit, Purple Bloods are some of my best customers. Those clowns fucking love art. Wait, I don't think we've ever, like, properly encountered a Purple Blood in this game. Like, with a sprite. And I don't think I've gotten far enough into Homestuck to understand art. Wait. I know about, like, one character that has their... that looks like a clown. Is that just a Purple Blood thing? Crossbin in space. Ah. Then I will probably have a love-hate relationship with them. Clowns freak me out, but done right, clowns can be very... attractive, I guess? I don't know if I'm scared of them to the point that they're attractive or if they're just attractive done right. They're rich as fuck, and they'll buy anything as long as it's violent enough or features religious themes. You see the kind of destruction and mayhem that Purple Bloods are capable of, so you're surprised that she doesn't seem to mind being in a crowded gallery with so many of them. Most of the other trolls you've interacted with have done their best to steer clear of the clown murder cult guys. At least when one of those hate romance relationships isn't on the table. There's 4. That's gonna be fun. Isn't it kind of dangerous to actively court them with for her audience? Oh, sure. They can be unpredictable, and keeping them happy requires some schmoozing. Occasionally I have to pretend like I've drunk the Fago and pull some religious references out my ass. but it's nothing I can't handle. You can make a lot more money as an artist, as a supposed to be artist or artiste. Anyway, if you're not choosy about what you draw, isn't that what a lot of artists that get into drawing furry stuff go by? Just like, yo, it'll get me the money. I'm not choosy. Although I'm not gonna lie, the artists that can do furry stuff are like top notch. Like they got skills. One of my customers is this blue blood moron who only ever commissions me to draw low bloods in quadrants with other low blood. Fuck. Well, we know who that is. I've got him convinced I'm giving him a deal on his rate when he's actually paying 5 times what I charge anyone else. I don't know what this voice is devolving into because it's kind of like I think we're bordering on Valley Girl. Yeah, he totally deserves it. Honestly, I think if she flirted with him a little bit, she could probably get him to pay 10 times what she's charging everyone else. Or, you know, hire a low blood to flirt with him. Would not put that on anybody. My point is, artistic integrity is for chumps. If you want to get ahead in this world, give the people what they want first. That strikes you as a depressing outlook on the creative process, but you're aware by now that idealism on Alternia tends to lead to shorter lifespans. You have to admit, looking around at the crowd in this gallery, that her cynical approach seems to be working. You tell me that she sounds pretty business savvy in addition to talented, and she winks at you again. Thanks, I know. Because I make bank doing shit like this, I'm able to fund my passion projects. You should really check out my webcomic. I'm actually kind of interested. Oh, I would be interested in that. Like the current background art. I'm assuming that when I get to that troll, I'm just gonna have a "oh shit, it's you" moment. But before you can find out what her webcomic is about, she notices another troll that has been sidling up to you. As she approaches, she whips out what looks like a small recording device with a smile. Rimley's face goes carefully blank, and she crosses her arms over her chest. And how can I help you? Yes. Hello there, Mrs. Mack. I'm with Alternia Nightly, and I must say, it looks like your first ever gallery exhibit has been a smashing success so far. The journalist's syrupy tone and innocuous words don't seem threatening to you, but you're picking up on some tense vibes from Rimley, whose hair ribbon swings forward in front of her face aggressively. Of course it's a success. I never expected otherwise. Maybe not, but some in the art world would have expressed surprise at the timing of this. Some have called it bold, considering that you're currently in the middle of a plagiarism controversy. Would you care to comment on the case against you by Trident Media? Instead of being caught off guard by the question sprung on her, Rimley relaxes and laughs. Oh, that. As if they have any kind of real evidence that I'm violating their precious intellectual property. All the characters I draw and profit from are entirely original, and Trident Media and their legislator are just mad about it because the whole internet knows that my storylines are better than the source material. Wait, if she says that her storylines are better than the source material, wouldn't that imply that she is in fact drawing from them? Because if it was her own stuff, then wouldn't she say then their material? Oops, I mean better than the unrelated creative work that my comics happen to bear a superficial resemblance to. I can appreciate her. Feel free to quote me on that. Are you sure you want that quote? I think maybe you should say something else and say to quote you on that one. Completely, totally unrelated. Absolutely. The reporter takes the quote and scuttles away. Rimley seems unbothered, but you can't help but feel concerned for her. Copyright infringement is serious business. Is your new friend in legal hot water? We do know somebody who could probably help for a fee. No, Alternative barely has any copyright protections to speak of. It's just that little... Oh, never mind. He wouldn't help us. Oh. It's just that little pest Gorjek trying to stir up shit as usual. Yes, he is right about that, but I love him so much. The company behind his lawsuit wouldn't even care if he hadn't gotten involved. It's no big deal. Nothing I can't handle. You go back to following her around the gallery, keeping your distance whenever a purple blood comes up to compliment her on her work. You can tell that despite her confident attitude, Rimley is still thinking about that journalist. Oh, I love this sprite. Like, there's... It's adorable. She taps her foot and frowns at the paintings whenever there's a lull in the conversation, throwing glances at the door that the journalist left her. Aww. Oh, there you go. You know, it's not like Alternia has a free press or credible newspapers. That reporter was probably hired by someone with a grudge to dig up dirt on me. I don't think it was Gorjek. Actually, too obvious. Amateurish. No, this stinks of my competition. The artistic establishment that thinks all I do is fan art and shouldn't be taken seriously as an artist. All of their paintings are in the museum across the street, and they hate that I've managed to put up my own exhibit. The stuck-up, pretentious bulge scrubs have been trying to sabotage me for so long. Sure it's you. Her hands balled up into fists and the X in her eye flashing with passion. I've been waiting for the opportunity to strike back at them. If anyone's going to accuse me of being a thief and a hack anyway, I might as well steal from them for real. Yeah, get them. The new security's tight, and I haven't had an accomplice. Until now? What do you say? Want to help me pull off a risky art heist? I am starting with a hell fucking yes. Remily does one last round in her exhibit, saying goodbye to her patrons and grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, as you head out the door and onto the street. Yeah, I love her. First meeting, she's just like, let's go. I trust you enough to do an art heist with you for some reason. It's actually about to feed us to the dogs. I mean, I'm okay with that if that's what happens. The museum that she wants to rob is at the end of the block, in a much bigger, fancier building than the one you just walked out of. All the lights are off inside, and it doesn't have any signs advertising current exhibits. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Gorgo, our new friend needs help. Absolutely. Oh no. I wonder if he'll try to murder us again if we get caught stealing property with her. But... we can do this one of two ways. Follow the journalist and steal the keys if she has them, or break in without them. You know what? We're gonna try stealing the keys. You would much rather walk through an unlocked door than try to bust it down. And the reporter is still in sight, turning a corner down the street. You try to imitate Remile's casual yet confident way of walking, like she could blend in anywhere and pull off anything. But despite your efforts to not attract suspicion, you keep getting looks. Not being the same species as everyone around you tends to make you stand out. Shit, this could be a problem. I can put together a disguise for you, hang on. Oh, I also love this sprite. Like, it's so cute too. You watch as she starts pulling things from her bag. She seems to have all sorts of things in there, from paintbrushes, blobs of clay, to paint. And you think she might be putting together some fake horns or for you from scratch real quick? But before she can finish, you realize that one of the purple bloods about to walk into Remile's gallery is staring at you. He looks vaguely familiar, and you realize a little too late where you've met him before when he starts walking towards you. They are gorgeous. Oh god. This is great. Isn't this the partner of the one that was the one that we broke into their apartment with Philippa? You. I remember you. You broke into my apartment. Yeah. It's the same. Ah, that's why. It will. It's the same trouble that you and Philippa escaped from. You back away as he advances, a lazy grin on his face. Emily glances from him to you and back to him again. Well, fuck. Looks like I'm not going to have an accomplice after all. Sorry, pal. Oh. She puts her bag over her shoulder and shrugs her hands, and what can you do? Yeah, a gesture. Then she's gone. The big purple blood paying her no mind as she absconds. Oh yeah, rip us. But like, appropriate reaction. Like, absolutely appropriate reaction. I also would not get involved with trying to rescue a dumbass I just met from a purple blood. You want to feel betrayed, but it's hard to blame her considering how scary this guy is. In your heart, you know that you're dead already, but you're not going to accept your fate without attempting to prevent it. I feel like that cannot go well. You make a mad dash to escape, sprinting towards a skinny alleyway and thinking that maybe you can scamper up a fire escape or something. Unfortunately, your attacker's size doesn't seem to slow him down, and you can hear his heavy footfalls right behind you. He laughs, and it somehow sounds dopey and dumb and completely terrifying. All at the same time. But, not gonna lie, that's not something I realized until a gallery full of purple bloods was in my sight. You make it to the alley, but you fucked up because it's a dead end and you don't see anything that you could use to clamber up high enough. Clamber to higher. Clamber to high enough ground. There we go. You turn to face him. Hopelessness sinking down to your toes. Your scrappy alien tenure on this hazardous new planet is about to come to a messy end. The purple blood swings his massive club lazily in one hand as he approaches you, not bothering to run anymore. You drop it. Man, MC just like... I'm sorry, MC, but I think I would just... I don't think I would have run. I think I would have just let him have at it here in the street. Running, I feel like running would only make it worse. You drop into a fighting crouch, trying to think back to your 3rd grade karate lessons for any moves that might be useful, but before he can crush your skull in, you see a flash of movement behind him. He staggers, dropping the club as something hits him from behind. Oh, well, hello. I honest to God thought you just left us for dead. And I could not blame you. As much as I appreciate inspiring my fans, I'm gonna have to ask you not to interpret my art so literally. As in, no murdering. She saved us. She just straight up... Oh, yeah. I for sure thought that was going to be the quick end. Beverly springs off the troll's back after clawing him and rolls to the side, avoiding his swinging fists. Man, she got some guts. She grabs for his club, which is almost as long as she is tall, but before she can use it, his next blow catches her below the ribcage, sending her flying across the alley and into the brick wall. Oh no. She's on her feet again fast, but you can tell that she's injured, and now she doesn't have the element of surprise on her side. The purple blood turns his back on you as he closes in on Rimley, laughing again. You can't let him kill her. Not when she came back for you, but you have no idea how you can help there. Your eyes land on Remeli's bag. Tossed to the side in the melee. I have never once read that word out loud. I have only ever, like, read it in the book. How the fuck do you say that word? I'm looking this up. I know what the word means, I just can't pronounce it. Melee. I did know somebody who once pronounced it melee, and like since I've never said it out loud and never had reason to hear it out loud before, my brain was telling me no, I don't think that's right, but I also was not sure. Your eyes land on Remeli's bag, tossed to the side in the melee, and in desperation, you grab a loose paintbrush that rolled out of it. Are we about to murder a purple blood? Because I feel like that would get us a death sentence. You dive forward with a battle cry and stab the end of the paintbrush deep into the high blood's calf. Wow. I skipped an entire line, I think, but in the process of trying to read that. Violet blood squirts you in the face. He yells, and you manage to roll away just in time to avoid getting smacked. The slight stab wound hasn't slowed him down much, but it's given Remele a chance to dive out of his range, and while he's still trying to grab you, she gets a hold of his club again. Yeah, if it was a stab good enough to draw blood, that really is a good stab. It really is a good stab for something that's undoubtedly blunt. I didn't know I needed to see her holding a club, but damn I did. She's stronger than she looks. Strong enough to get a good wind up with that thing. And when he turns towards her, she brings it down hard onto his skull. Oh shit, she takes a few more good smashes before the troll finally stops groaning and twitching. Remele breathes heavily, wiping blood spatter off her forehead. She looks up, meeting your eyes. Yeah, murder. Murder girl. Wow. You're absolutely positive that this is the most dramatic way you have ever been rescued. You can't believe she came back and risked her life for you. Don't mention it. I need an accomplice, right? She drops the club and staggers over to you, pausing to spit out cerulean blood. You remember that she took some damage and hurry to support her, offering your weak human arm to lean on. Is she going to be okay? I'll be fine. Ceruleans are tough to cull, even for a wannabe subjugulator. Subjugulator. There we go. She tilts her head, looking down at the way her blood swirls with the larger quantities of purple blood pooling on the asphalt. Huh, that's actually not bad as an artistic medium. The colors and textures work well together. Maybe that blue blood kid from Chitter was onto something. Anyway, thanks for having my back with that paintbrush. That took some quick thinking. Yeah, yeah. Ah. I adore her so much. She is so adorable, and I'm so glad that she has been talking about her blood painting. We make an okay team. I've never killed anyone before, but that kind of ruled, didn't it? You're not sure that you would choose those exact words, but you're pretty relieved right now. Yeah, she was just introduced to the wonders of using blood as paint. And honestly, I think that might be something that the Purple Bloods would be like really into too. Like, oh yeah, this art looks cool and it's violent and all, but it's also made with blood as paint. You might not have the bloodthirsty glint in your eyes that Remele does, but you can interpret your adrenaline shakes as euphoric overload or something. Hell yeah, me too. I can see why people get into this killing business. If I wasn't such a great artist, I'd consider switching careers. Yeah, like how does she not have a kill count and MC's ass specifically has one. Well, I guess now she has a kill count, but previously. But sometimes when you're good at too many things, you have to pick one and stick to it. So no professional assassinations for me. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing she hasn't killed before this point. Oh, absolutely. I think we'd be meeting her under very different circumstances if she had. I'm still determined to rob the shit out of my competitors. So, and you? Now that we've killed someone together, it just makes sense for us to stay partners in crime, right? Yeah, same. Like, even if we encountered her, like, as a known serial killer, I would still adore her. Like, she is great. Your heart leaps at the implication that she wants to stick together. You truly do not mind breaking every law in the books if it means she'll be your friend. Nice. We probably don't need to go around breaking every law. I just want to steal some art. But maybe we can reschedule the heist for another day. This neighborhood will be crawling with drones as soon as they realize the High Blood was killed. You feel bad that this troll attempting to slaughter you ruined Remele's gallery opening. Oh, are you kidding? My customer base loves this kind of shit. My art will get even more of a violent reputation when word gets out that someone died at my first gallery show. It's metal that's metal as fuck. Yeah, there's clearly something wrong with her, and this murder has completely unlocked it, and I am here for it. You limp out of the alley, supporting Remele with your arm around her waist, and she directs you to the back entrance of her gallery where the two of you can clean off the blood and hide until the drones and crowds are gone. If you don't mind, you can lie low at my place for a few days while we plan this heist. And I might as well get some work done while we wait and scheme. The fight was pretty inspiring. You're already my accomplice, so how would you feel about also being my muse? I honestly, I did not expect this to be the good end when the Purple Blood showed up and she peaced out. I love this artwork. Like this is amazing. I was thirsty, sorry. can feel a hiccup, I just don't know when it's going to hit me. Oh, the feeling went away, okay. Yeah, Anthony's now the muse of two people. That's kind of terrifying. Alright, so I think I'm gonna get the other end from here. And then go back to the multitude of eyes. We're busting down the door. A heist sounds risky enough without spending extra time trying to pickpocket some keys. You suggest that if this crime is going to happen tonight, it should happen now, no time like the present. Good point. Let's go break into a museum. You scoot casually across the street. You scoot casually across the street to the museum on the corner. After seeing the kind of looks your unusual appearance draws from passerby, Rimley takes some fabric from her bag and wraps it around your head. There. Now people will probably assume that you have horns. You're just embarrassed by them being tiny or malformed. Duck into the alcove shielding the museum's back door and wait for me. I'm gonna circle the block first just so we seem less suspicious. As you wait for Rimley by the door, the reality of this caper settles in. You've been excited about the heist at first, because who wouldn't be excited by the opportunity to sneak around, steal some art, and stick it to the man? Probably while a snazzy soundtrack played. But now you realize that in heist movies, they always have blueprints for the place you're gonna rob, and you have no blueprints. It seems like a dire sign. Before you can get too swept up in your worries, Emily returns. Does she have any idea how to get into this place? The door looks pretty unbust-downable to you. Yeah, I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I've never done this before, but it'll probably work. Wow. She moves through her bag until she comes out with several paintbrushes of varying size, then crouches down and uses the skinniest one as a lockpick. Yeah, it could have worked. It doesn't work, but then she selects a different paintbrush with different bristles and uses some of the bristles bunched together, and the lock clicks open. The fuck kind of bristles does she have in those paintbrushes? I'm great at this. I bet I could be an incredible thief if I decided to do that instead of art. I've had, speaking of being a thief, I've had several people tell me that I missed my calling in life, because I'm quite good at pickpocketing. Yeah, she got career options. She apparently got every career option there is, because she's great at, like, everything. Do you ever take the time to sit back and acknowledge how great you are at everything you try to do, and how much you trust yourself to never fuck up when it counts? I can lockpick handcuffs. I've had to do that before. I've never actually bothered to try lockpicking, like, actual locks. Yeah, I used to always wear a couple of bobby pins in my hair just in case I need to get out of a situation again. It's not as interesting of a story as I wish it was. A friend outside of the lab that I was hanging out with had a friend that had a pair of handcuffs and did not have the key to it, and then decided to handcuff me while I was drunk to one of the poles of a bar stool, and I had to get my way out of that because I had to be back at the lab in the morning. Yeah, I want to learn how to properly lockpick, like locks and stuff. I mentioned it last stream, I think it was, but like I do have to wear bells because people tell me that I move too sneakily. But maybe I did miss my calling in life. Yeah, it's a skill issue on their part, for sure. Because I mean, I talk a lot. Like a lot. Especially if I'm like real familiar with the people. Like most of the people in the lab, I've known them for years. So I talk so much, I don't know how I can possibly sneak up on anybody in the lab. But it happens. You hope your question is rhetorical because your honest answer is that no, you don't have a lot of it. You hope that you hope that the question is rhetorical because your honest answer is that no, you don't have a whole lot of experience acknowledging how great you are at everything you attempt. Your mental acknowledgements lately have mostly been the opposite of that. Well, so I talk about my interests a lot, and like I will talk to people about their interests, but I don't do like small talk. Like I don't really ask, you know, hey, how's the weather? You know, how are you today? Like I don't, unless I haven't seen you in a long time, I don't usually ask how you are. Like I just judge it based on how you're acting. But I'm also like really bad at small talk. But like if I don't know somebody very well, it's basically like pulling teeth to get me to talk. And then they ask me some stupid question, and it's a link to like something that I'm really interested in, and then it's over for them. The days of me being quiet are long gone after that. Maybe it wasn't rhetorical because Remilly stays crouched down like that for a second, looking at you like she wants an answer. The only time I talk about the weather is if the weather is currently interesting. And I suck at small talk. I'm also very bad at remembering what I've talked to people about. So am I. There have been several times where I go to talk about something because I'll sometimes there's a TV. Sometimes the TV that's in the lab will be turned to the news. And if that happens 2 days in a row and they've been talking about something 2 days in a row, I'll have the same conversation with somebody about that thing. Because I don't remember that I've already talked to them about it like that. I do talk about the weather if it's going to storm or something. Because with my ankles, and debatably Master also says it's because of the instability in the formulas. I still don't know exactly what that means because Master won't let me see the formulas that made me. My joints hurt when rain and storms come, especially if they come up real quickly. And I am very prone to migraines with pressure changes in the air. So that's about the only time I'll talk about the weather. So I kind of unintentionally become a forecast, a predictor for bad weather. Or if the sunset's really pretty, I'll just stand there at the window through the lab and go, Come and look at this! I don't know if that still counts as weather. I think that's just atmosphere. When you eventually come up with an awkward shrug, she stands up and puts away her makeshift lockpick, dusting her hands off and opening the door. I guess not everyone can be at my confidence level. Anyway, let's go. Okay. Yeah, I used to have pictures of it on my phone. I don't know if it's this phone or if it was long enough ago that it was on my previous phone that didn't transfer pictures. There was a sunset that was like, it was the most beautiful shade of pink, and the clouds were like kind of like a blue and white color, and it was so pretty. I took a bunch of pictures, and then I pulled everyone that I could get to come and look at it, and they also took a bunch of pictures, so it was really pretty. Yeah, that is a lot of lasers. Almost as if they're afraid somebody's gonna break in and steal something. Who would do that? You follow her inside. Much to your delight, you see that this museum has an infrared laser beam alarm system. Like actual delight, or is that sarcasm? Oh, actual delight. Okay. It looks so cool, just like in the movies, and you're back to being excited. Remley seems into it too, bouncing on the balls of her feet next to you. Oh, that's precious. Interesting. Very interesting. One of us is going to have to get through these beams to disable the alarm. Oh, I feel the hiccup. The box to do it is across the room there, see? But these lasers are so close together. You can see the issue. Brimley isn't that tall for a troll, but she might be too tall to maneuver through these beams. Even if she bends over, it's going to be tricky for her to squirm through them all without losing her balance and tripping the alarm. But the trolls that designed this alarm system didn't have your... I thought that said horniness. Not hornless. But the trolls that designed this alarm system didn't have your hornless ass in mind when they thought of the potential intruders. You superverted it to see if you'll fit, and sure enough, yes! You should be able to shimmy your way through these beams with minimal contortion. Yet they are horny for friendship, that is very true. Fuck yeah! I knew I was right to bring an accomplice. Great thinking me. And great high skills you, if you pull this off. You recall what she said about confidence and trusting yourself to not fuck things up, and assure her that you've got this. We are so gonna fuck this up, aren't we? You face the laser beams with your self-doubt shoved all the way down, where it hopefully won't screw anything up for you. You take a deep breath and crouch down carefully. So carefully. And... ooh, wow, words. You take a deep breath and crouch down and carefully, so carefully inch your way forward between the wires. Brimley teaches MC self-love. Absolutely. MC needs some of it. Maybe then we'll have like a standard for friends, which is not getting us killed. It's the slowest you've ever crossed a room in your life. And there are a couple of moments where you teeter and almost lose your balance. I thought we didn't have to do much contortion there. We should be able to keep our balance, but then again, I have no balance, so I can't say shit. You can hear Remily hissing through her teeth behind you at tense moments, but you press on without looking back. And then you've done it. You've reached the box to disable the alarm system, and you have no idea how you're going to do that. We probably should have discussed this before me going entirely across the laser room. All the buttons are labeled in an alien alphabet. Crap. Oh, that's right. I forgot you can't read. Press the one that looks like a meat hook, but with angry eyes. And then press the one that looks like a meat hook, but it's got Furby's claws. That should do it. That sounds bonkers to you. But you look back at the buttons, and her descriptions of the letters are actually pretty spot on. You press the angry eyes and the cat claws, and the whole alarm system makes a soft shuddering noise, and clicks and shuts off. You're thrilled. You did it. Who knew that doing something right could give you such a rush? This was just like the part of the heist where the heroes had to sweat for a minute, but then defeated an unforeseen wrench in their plan. You're certain that there couldn't possibly be any larger wrenches in your plan still to come. Way to jinx yourself, MC. Remily crosses the room to join you, giving an appraising look with her hands on her hips. Not bad. Thanks for coming through for me like that. Now let's get what we came here for. There's one work in particular I'm here to get. This totally does not sound like she's planning on plagiarizing some work from this instead of just stealing it. You follow her through the different galleries, passing through a sculpture room and oil paintings, until you reach a display of pieces that look inspired by pop culture. The paintings and prints here remind you a lot of Remily's exhibit, and when you look at her you can see that she's rigid, her eyes flashing and a passionate blue tint on her cheeks. Can't believe they called me the hack. Such bullshit. Whatever, it's cool. It doesn't actually bother me. I just need to send the message that they don't want to fuck with me. This painting right here is a direct ripoff of one of my early works. Back when I was naive enough to put my art up for free without realizing it would just get copied and someone else would get all the credit and the profit. Well, I learned my lesson. I'll take this so they can't sell it. Rip off their ripoff, make something even better, and turn it over for a truckload of cash. She grabs the painting, and just when the two of you are ready to heist roll out of here, you hear voices at the back door. And what sounds like security guards coming in. They must have arrived to investigate the alarm shutting down. Yeah, that was clearly that was certainly cool. She thought that out way too well. She knew exactly what she was doing the moment she set eyes on that thing. You're ready to embrace your panic. But you stop hyperventilating when you feel Remily's vice-like clawed grip on your arm. Don't freak out. Follow my lead and we can still get out of this. You assume that the whole heist is off now that security has shown up, but to your surprise, Remily doesn't put the stolen painting back on the wall. She gives your arm one last reassuring squeeze before sauntering out of the room with her head held high, moseying with no hurry towards the front door. You follow her nonchalant lead as best you can. When one of the security guards stops her, Remily gives him a condescending, slightly confused look. He is so cool. Uh, what are you even doing here? My assistant told me she informed all staff I will be swinging by today to pick this up. Did you miss that memo? Give me a break. I'm sure it must be easy to miss things, right? Because as a security guard, you probably get so much more important correspondence every day. Her poor people somehow give her sneering eye roll extra sarcastic force. She yawns and with her free hand not holding the painting, flicks some non-existent dirt off her shirt. The security patrol, a burgundy blood judging from the sign on his cop hat, looks uncertain and embarrassed. But I get it. I understand crossed wires. Since you're apparently too busy to do your job right, I'll catch you up to speed. I'm the artist behind this piece, and I've got a wealthy patron interested in commissioning something similar. I'm taking this as a reference in order to negotiate a better deal. There's absolutely no way these guys will buy her story. Sophie looks so guilty, and you still have her yellow sash wrapped around your head. Probably look like an idiot with a head injury. But Ripley is staring down this card like it hasn't even occurred to her that she might be questioned. You've never seen someone double down so hard on a story that's such transparent bullshit. If you want to waste more of my time and yours by calling your superiors to verify, go ahead! You might not be thrilled that this mix-up happened because you can't keep up with your emails, though. The security troll was already wavering, and at the mention of his emails, he cringes. His co-workers behind him shuffle around, muttering to each other. Yeah, she is amazing. I would love to be her friend. He steps back, horns lowered in embarrassment, and waves you and Remley through with a mumbled apology. You can't believe this is happening. But the two of you swagger out to the street through the front door. Legitimate as anything. I wonder how many times he's gotten in trouble for not checking his emails if that was all it took for him to just basically go, oh shit, you're probably right. You don't stop until you've turned the corner to the next block, and then Remley leans against the wall and laughs, holding her painting happily to her chest. Haha, suckers! Feels good to get away with things, doesn't it? It does feel good, you suppose. Mostly you think you're still reeling. How did she come up with a story like that on the fly? How did she guess correctly that the security guard wasn't some hyper-organized inbox zero... What? Wasn't some hyper-organized inbox zero kind of guy who'd never missed that he could have... Wow, why is this sentence so hard for me? Kind of guy who'd never believed that he could have missed a message. Ripley gives you an odd look and reaches forward to unwind her sash from your head and stuff it in her bag. I just winged it, man. You overthink things. My guesses are usually right because I'm a creative genius. But if going after him for emails hadn't worked, I guess we'd have been arrested, and then I'd talk my way out of that eventually too. Wow. I find it hard to believe that she goes through life so easily, with that kind of unshakable belief that she can improvise through anything. Doesn't she worry it'll catch up with her someday? Yeah, her confidence is out of this world. Lip balm. This is like my absolute favorite lip balm. It's peach flavored. I wish I had even a sliver of her confidence. Because, like, I love myself, and I am, like, greatly confident in myself. Sometimes, more often than not, bordering on hubris. And I still don't have the confidence she does. It's what Nasta gave me for my birthday. And I'm going to be very, very sad when it eventually runs out, because I go through lip balm like there is no tomorrow. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different lip balms. My lips get very, very dry very, very quickly. So if I don't constantly have lip balm on, my lips get so dry they crack out. Crack out. And it's not very fun. But I can understand not liking the feeling of stuff on your lips. Because depending on the formula, sometimes I don't like the way it feels on my lips. Let's see if I can get these back over there without dropping any of them. We're good. Oh, chocolate. I have never had a chocolate lip balm or anything like that. But I would love to. Because, like, I love the way chocolate smells. Chocolate always smells so good. Even though sometimes things with chocolate in them are way too rich and sweet for me. But I don't think I could trust myself not to just eat it either if I had some. Does it? Wait, how did I end up? Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot that the scroll wheel can go backwards. Doesn't she worry that it'll catch up with her someday? You want the long answer? It's good. Nope, I super don't. And if you still don't get it, I don't know if it's the kind of thing you can really learn. Who picks up the painting again, looking down the street and away from you? Well, that was a successful heist. Now that I've ruined the competition, I feel inspired. I'm gonna take this home and paint. Wait, hang on. Wasn't you realize you... with the sinking feeling, you realize that she's getting ready to depart and that this friendship might be slipping through your fingers. Sorry, kid. You seem like you're not totally useless, at least. But I'm not one for long-term artistic collaborations. It's a lot easier to talk your way out of tight spots when you're on your own. Peace. You watch her go, your shoulders sagging with disappointment. You guys stole from a museum together, escaped together, bamboozled the cops together. You should have bonded over your shared transgressions and culpability. Yeah. Every crime movie you've ever seen has taught you that heists bring people closer together, but cultural differences? I love how confident she looks in this and how absolutely lost MC looks. Alright, so we have achieved one of what I suspect will be several game overs. Well, two, technically. Alright, so fuck yes. Okay, so this is the same, like, starting type thing, I guess. Rinley does one last round in her exhibit, saying goodbye to her patrons and grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, and you head out the door and onto the street. Yeah, true. You probably she did make a good choice. MC is very recognizable, and the cops are definitely going to be like, it was her and some weird alien looking fucker. Oh, you don't? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like it's the... Yeah, okay. Aww. In that case, I'm going to go back to the main menu. And we will go again. Okay, I can't wait to get to this one because the one on the left side just looks so done with everything. Alright, and we will just speed through this since, you know, already read that. Like, actually love them because you were very excited for me to encounter, what's his name? I, man, I am terrible with his name. Oh well. Alright, and off we go. Right now, your travels have brought you to what appears to be a normal road in an innocuous part of town. Oh, yeah, Zebra. I really like Philippa. But, I don't know how I forget Zebra's name that quickly. Because it's not like it's a hard to remember one. Right now, your travels have brought you to what appears to be a normal road in an innocuous part of town. Not particularly upscale, but not exactly a rat trap either, just pretty average. By the way, speaking of forgetting names, I worked with somebody in the lab for like months. Could not remember his name. Like I felt so bad for him because he had to tell me his name like several times. Like I got to the point where I was just like, him. I finally got his name down and like fully remembered about the time. Yeah. About the time I like got his name down, he quit and got a job somewhere else, and I like immediately forgot his name. Like I saw him 2 weeks later at the new place that he was working and could not remember his name, and he had to tell me his name then too. And I don't remember his name now. But like I was so bad with his name and nobody else seemed to remember his name either. It was really weird. Like nobody in the lab could consistently remember his name. And I was like ready to swear up and down that that man was like part Fae or something, and there was like an otherworldly reason why we could not remember his name. He was cursed. He was part fae. There was something going on there. Oh well, hello. A row of the spiky purple bushes line the side of the road, and behind one of them stands a large, fierce troll who is glancing furtively up and down the street. Okay, that's less average. Hey, are you her? Huh? I mean, are you her? Are you who I'm waiting here for? I, I don't know. Well, your first instinct is definitely to tell her that yes, of course you are who she's waiting for, provided she's been waiting for a new friend. Oh, really? Huh. Ah. Let me fix that. Is that better? Okay. I wonder why some of the tracks are so much louder than the others. Okay, I had this homes the HiveSwap Friendsim had been playing through the like desktop audio, and then for Streamlabs, and then this time when I loaded it up, it like would not play through there, and I had to do a new audio output for it to get it to play anything, and I have no idea why. I don't do a lot of tech stuff, but I got it working, so that's what matters, right? But honestly, you aren't sure your shtick is going to work on this girl. Of course not. What was I thinking? It's so infuriating. She's so late. I'm so bored. Oh, the little sad face. How do you pronounce her name? Is it Colonial? Huh. That's an interesting name. Do you think she's coming soon? You don't know who she means, but you suggest that she might be more comfortable waiting somewhere that isn't in a spiky purple shrub? Don't be stupid. My clients value discretion. I feel like you would look a lot more discreet not in the spiky bush. Oh, neat. There's some light. Interesting. I have to lay low. The shrub hardly manages to cover her, and standing behind it and shouting is definitely not making her less conspicuous. Neither is asking some random passerby whether they are her client. Not that you can talk. Accosting people left and right and asking them to be your friend is kind of your whole deal. If you aren't Country Lady 453, then who is? Country Lady 453? Huh. That almost sounds like. Hi, honey. Sorry I'm late. I couldn't. What in tarnation? It's her! You know that genteel charm anywhere. Well, my stars. I definitely wasn't expecting to see you around here. What a masterful coincidence. You're incredibly glad to see Skyla. And Lady, too. All unkidnapped and everything. You give Skyla a hug, which she enthusiastically returns. She nearly picks you up off your feet. Oh! Lady shoves her nose against your neck and gives you a few sloppy licks. Who the heck are you? I have business at this bush. Maybe find your own. Sorry, but I'm the business your bush has been looking for. Phrasing? Question mark? Wait, what? You're a country lady? The very same? The name's Skyla Kariga. Pleasure to meet you. I didn't think you would be a bronze. I've gotten that before, honestly. Also, by the by, this concerns them too. She puts her hand on your shoulder. It does? It does? Sure enough. They were there when it happened. They even helped me fight off the varmints who tried to take my Lucis. Right, yeah, you said something about that in your message. But I don't get it. What do you want me to do? Right, well, the bandits didn't get Lady. But the other kids haven't been so lucky. Low bloods have been hit especially hard. I want you to find the bandits' base of operations and I want you to take them out. Permanently and painfully. Oh, Skyla mean business. Connell's mouth moves silently, like she's trying to reason through the steps of Skyla's conversation. Then she catches up and a slow grin spreads over her face. Yeah. Yeah, I like painful. And permanent. But wait. You want me to get revenge for someone else's Lucis? Why? Well, a few of us got together and decided to do something about it ourselves. Since there's no hope of the heiress or the drones doing anything to stop the bandits, and they all elected me as spokestroll, seeing as how I'm the oldest and least easily shook. Oh, okay, sure. Friendsim writers, we support women's rights and women's wrongs. Absolutely. This combined wholesome and absolute destruction all in one conversation. I love it. I guess the why isn't important. How much you got? How much are you willing to throw down? I doubt any low bloods could afford my fees. Let alone a bunch of country rusties. I think the country accent bled over there quite a bit. I could not fix it. Lady started to growl and Skyla puts a pacifying hand on her head. Everything's fine, lady. We expected this, didn't we? We were hoping you'd be willing to do it out of the goodness of your blood pusher. Kuna laughs so hard that she spits. Skyla winces. You got a pan disorder. If you think I take any charity cases. I don't work for pretty smiles. Keep your compliments to yourself, Missy. Oh, that wasn't... I didn't mean to say that out loud. Why don't you just go find the bandits yourselves? You know full well I don't have the means. But you do. It'd be a walk in the park. It'd be walking in the recreation field for you. If you weren't so nasty and selfish. Or maybe you're scared. Kill for exposure. Abs. Yeah, I gotta say that would be a new one. Yeah. You. I'll show you scared. Oh hell. They look like they're about to throw down. You gotta do something to defuse the situation. Um, I don't know which one would be the choice that gets you a fail. So I'm gonna start with the top one. Tell them you know people. You mentioned that you're important. A real mover and shaker in the Australian economy. You have a bunch of amazing local friends. I read that sentence a few different times and my brain just would not put words. There was nothing there when I read it. Some of them are rich or have giant internet followings or just very, very enthusiastic about meat. The point is, you know people. Wow, that's really generous of you, offering to leverage your relationships for my sake. I knew I didn't make a mistake trusting you. Well, that's a different story, I guess. Why don't you call up all your fancy friends? Oh, fuck. You don't have a phone. I thought it was gonna be that we didn't think anybody would actually respond, but no, it's just that we don't have a phone. That was great. Yeah, Rip MC. Maybe MC should invest in getting a phone somewhere along the line. Ask Conan if she works on spec. Uh, what? I don't work on spec. I'm only licensed on on Alternia. Just kidding. I don't have a license. You explain to Connell that working on spec means doing some work for free in hopes that you're going to be paid later. You say it's unlikely that the bandits only go after Luci. That that would be totally ridiculous when there's so many other things in the world to steal. Like money. You probably just have wow, they probably have just heaps of money in their hideout, and if she breaks in, she can have it all. Scarlet doesn't want it. She just wants to save the Luci. You're so dang convincing that you almost convince yourself. Mm, I'm not so sure. Sounds like you might be trying to fuck me over. You let out a scandalized gasp to convey just what an untoward accusation that is. You are shocked. Shocked! Ugh. Fine. Anything to get away from this stupid bush. She kicks the prickly... Fuck, words. She kicks the prickly purple shrub so hard it uproots and sails across the street to land on the hood of someone's car. Yeah, MC has definitely gotten slightly better at talking. Like, not a whole lot, but definitely picked some stuff up. But you're coming with me. I'm gonna hold you that. And if there's no money, then I'll hold you tighter and squeeze until your weirdly colored eyes pop out. Yikes. You believe it too. She could definitely do that. Rip that person's car. Can I be next? Oh, you ain't kidding. I want her to kick me like that bush. But here's your chance. You've got tons of success stories proving that forced exposure is really the best way to get people to like you. Feels just peachy. When do we leave? Kono kicks at another bush. She seems to have an anger management problem. Well, you guess she's managing it? She's taking it out of the shrubbery instead of you or Skyla. We? aren't doing anything. You aren't coming. Lady starts growling again, and Skyla looks like she wants to join in. Excuse me? Connell gets up in her face. Moving way faster than someone her size seems like she should be able to. You aren't coming. You'll just get in my way. You're distracting. Listen, if I'm gonna die on Alternia, I want it to be like that. Yeah, that would be a fun way to die. That would be an interesting one. Skyla's mouth twitches just the tiniest bit. What? That is not what it. You keep tricking me. I just meant that you'll probably stop to save some bark beast wrigglers. Yeah, her gloves are so cool. I want her gloves too. And get us all cold. Skyla crosses her arms and tosses her hair. Fine. I'm counting on you two. You figure that the information gathering stage of the operation is next. You've seen the heist movies. You know how shit works. Yeah, it certainly seems to be. I'm proud of her. But Connell just shouts at someone on her palm husk for a while, then punches some coordinates into a car that you're pretty sure isn't hers. Takes me to the outskirts of the city, past long stretches of cracked concrete and urban sprawl. Not exactly the place you'd expect to find bandits who steal farm animals. Yeah, I think they would. I think they'd do good together too. Having such a hard time. Every time I stream, it gets a little harder to stay comfortable in this chair. If it wasn't for the fact that it would be so much more effort, I would probably just, like, sit on the futon behind me instead. The hiccups fail me again. You point this out to Connell. She tells you to shut up. So you do. Understandable. Strong lady tells me to shut up, I shut up. You leave the car and walk the last few blocks. The bandit's operation is honestly not super impressive. It's a long industrial structure that looks more like a manufacturing plant than a den of thieves. Besides, it is something much more impressive. A sleek black spacecraft? Not like yours. This is the Mercedes-Benz to your banged up Chevy Malibu. Even before you crash landed it, that thing was a hunk of junk. Oh, holy shit. Is that an adult? What, the ship? Oh, I like the MC's first reaction was, you mean the ship? The ship is what your adults look like? No, dingus! You follow her frenzied gaze and... Oh, right, the troll beside the ship is taller than anyone else you've seen here. Her skin a darker gray, her claws incredibly long. If everyone you've met so far has been a kid, wow. They all deal with stuff that even adults on your planet don't. Routine death, dismemberment, and like 4 different relationship dynamics. If there really are no mature trolls here, then where are they? Wait, hold up. You're saying you're from? You live with adults? Yeah. You all live on the same planet? Sure do. Huh. Well, maybe you're tougher than you look. Adults are terrifying. Come on, let's get closer. You and Connell sidle up close enough to the trolls to overhear them haggling over stolen goods. So far, the conversation is too general to tell if they mean the loose eye. Damn, they must have globes of steel. Talking back to an adult. I mean, I'm great at rushing in without giving it any thought, but I'm not a total moron. The two trolls appear to come to an agreement. They shake hands and head back into the warehouse together. So what do you think? What should we do? Huh? You? Connell is the expert here. Yeah, no shit. For punching. I'm also good at slashing. But how do I as the okay. So would it be as the ha or as the ja? I'm googling it. Well, it apparently that is a real Serbian name, not and from what I could tell, it's supposed to be pronounced Azteca. Holy shit! How do I see anything? Hold on, I gotta clean my glasses. Couldn't figure out why everything was slightly blurry, and then I took my glasses off and figured it out very quickly. There we go, that's better. Oh. But Astahad always does the thinking and the planning. And he's the one with the eye beams and the big think pan. Don't tell him I said that. Please. You sure you can tell Astaha anything at all? Because you don't know who he is. Oh, right. Astaha is a frustrating Bulge-Lord loser who sucks so bad. Also, he's my mate spread and we love and we have been together for sweeps. He's supposed to be here. But he's off but he's off busy doing some dumb bullshit. So I need to be the hands of the operation, okay? Please. So I need you to be the hands of the operation, okay? Please, do this for me. Oh dear. I want... She is adorable. I want to search the spaceship because, like, I want to encounter the adult. And I feel like that's probably the best way to do it. Here's your chance to prove you're totally capable of making non-disastrous choices. I like that line comes immediately after I choose what I think will be the most disastrous choice. You reason it would probably be best to check out the space cruiser while it's empty, since who knows how many people will be waiting for you in the warehouse. Yeah, that works for me. You suspect that Connell would have agreed to anything you suggested just as long as she didn't have to make the decision herself. What a mood. As the kids say these days, big worm. There are so many tough decisions in your life recently. You're worried that the spaceship will be locked and your great plan is going to be over before it begins, but the door glides open easily and silently. Connell leads the way, and you let her. You don't know what wild security measures a troll ship has, but you do know you don't want to find out. Inside it is normal enough. Pilot's and co-pilot's seat, a central panel covered in more of the squiggly Alternian language, and a bank of sleeping screens. Other than that, it is remarkably bare of any homey touches. Not like your ship, which, in your humble opinion, was very nicely decorated. You've got some pretty dope posters on your wall. More to the point, there's absolutely nothing of value here. Connell can tell also. Ah! There's no point to being here. This is just a cruiser. All the good stuff is definitely going to be inside the warehouse. Okay, fair. You have no idea what you're doing, and you are sick of pretending that you do. You wish you could just take a breather, honestly. The strange, compulsive desire for more friendship is still there, but you are pretty exhausted. Let's just... Fuck. Oh wow, that's kind of forward of Connell. You aren't even at the friendship stage yet. Oh, calm down, you gigantic tool. I mean... oh, fuck. That's an adult troll, and we are definitely going to die. That's why I said the fuck word. Okay, so, the way that her, like, last word or so is capitalized, like, all caps, reminds me very much of, Natsume in Ensemble Stars. Because I mentioned this on during the tier list. But, like, the way that he talks is, like, strange. Like, the last couple of letters or the last word will be all caps. And that's what this reminds... That's what I keep thinking of. Oh. Oh. Fuck. That is a big troll. Connell is pretty big. She's the biggest troll you've met so far. If someone fed you truth serum and put a gun to your head, you might even describe her as thick. This troll is fucking terrifying. And she looks pissed. Or maybe that's just how her face always looks. There are teeth. Lots of teeth. Who told you two you could be in here? I didn't order any ugly wrigglers. Who are you calling ugly? Colonel immediately slaps a claw gauntlet over her mouth. Apparently remember who she is shouting at. The adult troll growls, and you don't mean she sounds angry? It's not a husky, sexy metaphor. She really fucking growls. A deep, guttural animal noise. Staring into a pair of merciless cobalt eyes, you experience a pulse of crystalline fear. Blank and cold. You are pretty much constantly braced for death, but that doesn't mean you're looking forward to it. Instead of springing forward and rending you to pieces, the adult just stares at you. Damn. Adult monster troll. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Yeah, I wish we could see what she looks like. The last thing you remember is those blazing eyes. And even that fades and you slip away. Oh, I'm surprised we were still alive. When you thrash, when you when you thrash back into consciousness, Connell is right on top of you, pinning you to the warm, thrumming metal of the spaceship wall. She doesn't look angry or scared or anything. Her snarling, expressive face is utterly blank. You say her name a couple of times, but she doesn't twitch. Oh no. She just squeezes down harder, grinding the bones of your wrists together. Someone is swearing. Oh fuck. You strain to see around Connell's head. The adult troll is seated at the pilot's seat, and the console is lit up. You realize what the thrumming in the walls means. The ship is moving. You see the sickly green-gray of the Alternian night sky, and your stomach does a disorienting leap of mingled elation and dread. You can't believe you're actually going to space and finally heading somewhere besides this fucking hellhole of a planet. Of course, that's how you felt when you were first leaving Earth. And you have no idea where this troll is bringing you. And your new prospective friend is just sitting there like she's hypnotized. She only reacts when you struggle. And then, only to slam you back against the wall. You just randomly fell asleep, didn't you? How the heck did that happen? The adult starts talking again, but she isn't talking to you. No, I'm on my way. No more delays, I promise. The loose eye shipment is on schedule. No, don't worry. Everything is... Sirens scream and screens flash. The ship bucks wildly like a sailboat hit by a wave. The adult troll's fingers fly over the consoles. No, what the hell? I don't know. It's like I've lost all control of the damn thing. Fuck. Yeah. Oh. So where was mind control? Connell's grip on you loosens. She pulls away and shakes her head back and forth, shaggy hair flopping into her eyes. What the hell? What the hell? Where are we? She sounds small and lost. The adult troll doesn't turn around. She's too busy yelling a mayday into her comm and trying to wrest back control of her ship. The whole thing shudders again, and yours and Connell's heads bunk together. Ow! The ship bucks again. It feels like engine failure. And more like a gigantic... It feels less like engine failure and more like a gigantic baby is shaking it like a rattle. And you're scared, sure, but you're also awash in a sudden and unexpected flare of understanding and competency, because this isn't the first time this has happened to you. This is exactly how you crash landed on Alternia in the first place. You were just passing by, minding your own damn space business, when your ship decided it wanted nothing better than to just snap its reins, toss its wild head, and head straight for the unfamiliar planet below you. Oh, fuck. You push yourself to your feet, trying to tame your nausea as the ship rolls. You grab Carl's hand and pull her across the compartment to a glowing green sigil on the wall. You don't know much, but you know absconding when everything is started. You don't know much, but you do know absconding when everything starts falling to shit. Hey, what are you? Let go of me. Absolutely not. If you do that, you will not be able to be friends with her, because you'll be dead. With the strength born of desperation, you pull her into the escape pod with you. Yeah, instinct, the best plan is running away. Absolutely. We won't fit. You will. You do. But it's uncomfortable as hell. Craning your neck at a very uncomfortable angle, you manage to reach around Connell and press the big red button on the wall. An alarm sounds and you hear the adult say, "What the?" before the door slams shut and the escape pod rockets out into space. You shudder back down to Alternia, Connell's weight crushing your delicate rib cage. Poor rib cage. You're surprised it hasn't sued you for damage yet. Wow, that sure was a shit show. Harshness brings people together, don't they? That's def a thing. Unfortunately, you judge from Connell swearing and muttered death threats. This is not one of those times. MC tried. Oh. There is a murdered MC in the window. Rip, buddy. Rest in pepperoni. Yes, very angry. And honestly, reasonably so. So follow the pirate into the warehouse. You decide to follow them into the warehouse. That way, at least you won't be trapped in a confined space if anyone comes back out to check the ship. Oh, hiccup. Yeah, I imagine being mind controlled would not be fun. Sorry, I thought I had another hiccup on the way. Nope, just yawn. You're ready to do some James Bond ass shit. Ducking behind corners and saying, "Cover me." Maybe executing some sick rolls down the hallway. You can't really do any gymnastics even when you aren't healing from broken ribs, but Fantasy James Bond, you sure can. Carl doesn't bother with any of that. She just stomps down the hallway toward the first door. Damn, she really hadn't been joking when she said she was more into the straightforward approach. You pick up speed to try to get to the door before she does, just to prevent her from charging in there and getting both of you caught immediately. Good thing, too. Through the window and the door, you see what looks like some kind of break room. A couple of trolls are messing around on their palm husks. A few more are sitting at at a table and playing some kind of game that involves cards and dice and little colorful shells. Oh, come on, there's not even that many. We can take them. Mm. Forgot you weren't my partner, you're just dead weight. No real argument there. Philippa told you that most pros work together for a reason. It's much harder on your own. You wonder if Connell would have been so hot to take the job if it hadn't been for Skyla's, uh, vibes. Yeah, that's the word, vibes. They were vibing. You have to do this. You have to rally. Connell is already losing faith in you. Maybe she had no faith in you in the first place? Whatever. You choose a different door at random and go down it. Assuring Connell that you definitely know what the fuck you're doing. When has any time that we've assured somebody we know what the fuck we're doing actually worked out for us? What? Where are you going? You've been down this road before. With Damien and your meat quest through the sewers. This is possibly slightly higher stakes. Only possibly. But the same basic principle applies. Fake it till you make it. Connell gets annoyed much faster than your other friend if her sub vocalizations are anything to go by. Damn, you really need to step up your game. You think back on all the heist and infiltration movies you've seen? Maybe you can find a locker room or a troll laundry room and find one of those SWAT hazmat suits. Yeah, that would be the best plan. Just go on and just put on a disguise and wander around like sneaky fucking. Oh, god damn it. You're so busy focusing on your brilliant plan that you open a door without thinking and find yourself looking at the trolls playing the card game. Yeah, the situations are totally comparable. We're not already being chased by anything in this case. I mean, we're fixing to be. Somehow, on your random quest through the warehouse, you manage to double back on yourself and come out on the other side of the break room. Classic. This is classic you. You're almost drawn by yourself. Almost. There's a frozen moment when all the bandits just stare at you and Connell. Perhaps taking in the truly staggering idiot level you have achieved. Thank fuck. We should have just done this from the beginning. You've gotten into quite a few fights since arriving on this planet. Well, mostly you stood around while other people fought. But the point is, Connell, she is brutal. She takes out almost the same number of bandits that you, Skyla, and Lady did in a quarter of the time. Multicolored blood flies. And God, you know these are the bad guys. You know these are bad guys. They've been stealing Lucite and selling them, which sucks. But right now, they're kind of just a bunch of kids getting massacred. You don't feel great about it? In fact, you might need to sit down for a little bit. Your back hits the wall and you slide down to the dirty floor. You are clammy all over. Pathetic. Connell pulls her gauntlet out of the final troll's neck with a spray of yellow blood and a squelch that makes your stomach roll. She notices you on the ground. What are you... Ugh. Are you serious? Come on. You try to tell her that she volunteered you for this mission herself, but you can't slow your breathing enough to get words out. You aren't sure why now is the time you finally freak out. Maybe it's the close quarters? Or maybe you've been on Alternia long enough for this multicolored mess to finally start registering as blood. Maybe you've reached your horror saturation point? Whatever. If you've learned anything from this experience, it's that the why of things doesn't actually matter. Yeah, straight up. Along with, like, I let's see, one route you get existential crisis. Oh, hello, Sushi. The other route, you get panic attack. Yeah, so am I. Connell looms over you, raising a gauntlet. She's gonna kill you. At least, if you're dead, you can't puke on yourself. But instead of brutal stabbing, you feel a steady pressure on the back of your neck. Connell pushes your head down till it's between your knees. Take slower breaths, idiot. You follow her instructions, too lightheaded to dwell on the absurdity of being coached through a panic attack by a girl who just murdered like 10 dudes. She's surprisingly good at this. Heh. Daha freaked out his first fight too. Wasn't even bloody. And the little wriggler passed out. I guess some blood casts really are better built for violence. She sits down beside you and pats you on the back. You kind of wish she'd taken the bloody gauntlet off first, but you appreciate the gesture. You're having a hard time reconciling this Connell with the one that had snarled at Skyla for being too nice. I'm multifaceted. Also, fuck her. Which reminds me. She pulls her phone out of her pocket, smearing a little olive blood across the screen. Kariga, I got your bandits. She talks a lot louder on the phone than she does in real life. Yeah, no shit. Of course I work fast. Especially when I don't have anyone to slow me down with a bunch of tactics and plans. uh, I feel like feel like maybe you should have tactics and plans. Save it for your fuck. Kiss me, sis. Nemesis? Kismesis? There we go, Kismesis. My brain would not wrap around saying that out loud. I have read that I don't even know how many times since starting this game, and it's the first time I read it out loud, I think. She hangs up and glares at the phone. You tell her you really. You tell her she's. What? You tell her she really seems to hate Skyla. Connell's face goes a fierce shade of green. Don't be stupid. I barely know her. You don't press the issue. You also don't point out the kind of obvious point that these probably aren't the only trolls in the facility. The one who had been haggling with the adults isn't here, for instance. But if Connell forgetting about them means less murder, you are all about it. There's no way the bandits are continuing their work after this. Connell also seems to have forgotten about the fact that she came in here looking to be paid, and nope, she's looting the bodies. Great. She's getting her money, damn it. Yeah, but that seems to be a problem that they can deal with at a later moment. It's a lot messier and takes way longer in real life than it does in video games. In the end, she ends up with 5 palm husks, a laptop, some jewelry, and some little squares of plastic you think might be sci-fi credit cards. Whatever. There's barely anything here. But that fight made it pretty worth it. Well, you're glad it was good for somebody, at least. You are just trying not to think about it and maybe get outside as fast as possible? Whatever Connell wants to do with your outstanding debt at that point, well, you can square it up out there. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not actually going to squeeze you. It would be just too easy. It would just be too easy. Wow, words. Nice squishing a March bug. Fuck yes. Safe by being pitiful. I doubt you have any money anyway. I mean, you are wearing an ablution robe. Oh fuck, we are still wearing that. True. That'll help you to your feet. You kind of want to ask if you're friends now, even though the only bonding activity you've done together is combined murdering and comforting, with her doing both of those things and you standing there like a dumbass. But really, you've made friends with worse people for worse reasons. Yeah. Like the one that commissions certain fetish art. Oh, here. Why don't you take one of these? Yeah, Gorgor's never getting that robe back. Ever. But judging by how it went with Gorgor, I don't think he minds. I mean, maybe his agreement to getting the robe back is just bring it over next time we see him. Yeah, it's never going to be the same even if he does get it back. She hands you one of the palm husks. Thankfully, it only has a little bit of blood on it. Actually, it might be mustard, like the actual condiment. But she's giving you a phone. Why? You don't have one, right? I mean, you don't even have any pants. This way we can keep in touch. And you can tell me if you have any more jobs with an excellent violence level. Like this one. Here, let's exchange info. Palm husks are really useful. Oh. You can use them to call people and everything. You aren't sure if she's making a joke. Possibly she just thinks you're an idiot. That's okay, you can deal with that. Because not only did you make a friend today, you got a gift today. Holy shit, you killed it. Yeah. that would certainly be. Yeah, MC is getting a whole lot better at this. Um, I am so confused as to how they managed to capture the traumatized look that I know MC was gonna have in like two circles and a handful of lines. Is it the size of the face in relation to the size of the head? Well, I think we did all options for her. Uh, huh? What? Interesting. Let's go ahead. That's gonna be an interesting one, I see. Alright. Well, there's two more routes done. And I am getting very sleepy. So I think that's where I'm going to end the stream tonight. So, good night.